everybody sometime in their life needs help. So it was kind of a way for me to give back. I said when I retired, when I saw the amount of surplus food that was thrown away, I already had preconceived that I was going to do something about it. So I said, I'm going to buy a truck. I don't pick up here, I pick up at other warehouses that they have condiments, mayonnaise, salad dressings. I go to a produce distributor, picking up there. So there's a lot of running around. It's tough getting the soup kitchen, our day on Tuesdays alone, on average probably 75 people a week. The food pantries, I know St. Peter's, they probably do close to 500. St. Paul's maybe does 700. So there's probably a couple thousand people a month benefit from this bread.
They're really excited for the breads, and when they come in and everything's laid out and their baskets are made, but then bread is kind of laid out for them to kind of pick from. I think it gives them a sense that they're in a grocery store. I mean, there's different options. It's not just, here's your white bread, here's your government cheese, stuff like that. They have things that they wouldn't normally get.
He's been coming like clockwork every Thursday about this time, which is 11:20, and every week it's different. Some of the stuff that he brings is raisin bread, which we don't really get donated very often. If I can save money on bread or other donations, then I might be able to do a beef tenderloin meal or a ribeye meal, utilize fresh vegetables more.
We used to only get leftover bread that came from some of the markets, and it would some days be so hard that we'd have to microwave it and slice it to try and make sandwiches. Now he delivers us wonderful Pepperidge Farm bread, and they really do make wonderful sandwiches.
The bread kind of brings them in the door. They get all excited about the bread, and they find out we have a food pantry and we might have vegetables. Paul sometimes brings us produce, tremendous produce. We get salads, we get vegetables, we get fresh stuff. So it's a real way of bringing people into the door, into these food pantries, so we can work with them and say, look, what is going on in your life and how can we help you?
When you consider what you're doing and what you're distributing to so many people for that small amount of time, it really is a small amount of time when you look at it, when you're giving them all the stuff that they're getting and how many families are getting it. My whole thing when I started this in the soup kitchen and in doing this is I don't judge people because you don't know. You don't know what people's circumstances are. And there's so many people out there that are suffering, that are in need, that don't want people to know. They're just so embarrassed by it. So I says, don't be embarrassed. I says, if you need it, you need it. If you don't, you wouldn't be here.
He is the connector. And so he gets the food, he gets it to us, we get it to them. So Paul is literally a food angel. He's out there doing good things. He doesn't get paid for it. He uses his own money, his own time, his own resources to do this. Why? Because he believes in people. He knows the value of making that connection between the food that he brings and that hungry person on the other end.
Thank God that Paul is doing what he's doing for us, and he goes way out of his way. He does so much good. And the bread, when you think of it, every single day, these people get a better meal because of Paul.
There's something about him that just puts a smile on your face because he's doing something so great, and he's always in a good mood and happy, so brightens up my day. He's a hero to our food bank and to this community, for sure, absolutely.
Seeing the expression on people's faces when they get stuff. And the first time I went into the food pantry and they saw this bread, they were like, I said to my wife, I said, you would have thought the lady hit the lottery for $10 million. She said, oh my God! Because it wasn't leftover. It was something that they could use. It was a, 15, 25 grain or whatever grain it was, bread. She said, I would not be able to afford this. She was beaming from ear to ear, and she was telling everybody that there was fresh bread. And everybody was going crazy back and forth, telling everybody. And I was like, wow, a loaf of bread. A loaf of bread that most people, half a loaf would throw in the trash, and these people, even if it might be coming to be stale, we can make toast with it, So I said, that's the kind of stuff, you see that and you say, you know what, hey, what's a day, what's a morning if it makes that many people happy? If you can help them, give them what you can, feed them, make them feel good about themselves, hopefully they'll work out, get their job, get back on their feet, and hopefully they'll turn around and, again, pay it forward. They'll come back and they'll help somebody else.